Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Sims of Amy, and today I have a Korea-inspired build in The Sims 4. This is part 1 of the series. So if you can look at the picture, Korea is big and it's just filled with lots and lots of buildings, tall apartments, and it is also cherry blossom season at the moment. So I thought there is no better time to do this build than right now in The Sims. So if we take a look at the lot so far, I have been playing around with some terrain. I wanted to add some debug buildings. I'm not quite sure of them yet. I think I will change them later. And then I have raised up some of this back area so I can add in some taller apartments to the back of the lot. And I have that kind of like mountainy area which is very common in Korea. There's lots of just little mountains everywhere that you can walk up, and there's normally some exercise equipment at the top of it which is fun. Okay, anyway, let's jump straight into the build. I am starting with terrain. I just want to, I don't know, make it a little bit more spacious, and yeah, because this area I want to add layers. If you've seen my Santorini build, I love playing with terrain. If you're not confident with terrain tools, I really suggest just going in for 1 hour and just really playing around with it. Just don't care about whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just play to see what everything does, and yeah, your confidence will grow. Because I used to hate terrain tools. Like, I hated them so much. I couldn't use them at all. But after just playing with them and not really caring what happened, I can use them way better now. Anyway, so let's start speeding this up. So this is actually a speed build video. Okay, let's go. Right, let's just ignore me building this at the moment, and I just want to explain why I'm using some debug apartment buildings in the background. I just thought this is only a 64 by 64 lot, which is the biggest in The Sims, and I really wanted this to be as big as possible. I want to build Korea. Korea has so many apartments and mountains, and it just fills like everything. Everywhere you look, there's just apartments. So I know they look a bit weird, but I promise you, by the end of this build, they will look pretty cool in the background and make the whole lot feel feel a lot more expansive than it really is. And okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, so let's look at what I'm doing. I'm actually basing this build on Suwon. It's not supposed to be Seoul, it is supposed to be Suwon City, which I have visited quite a few times. And actually a few weeks ago I did go to Suwon and take a load of pictures as I was walking around. I'll throw some up on the screen because a few of these buildings are actually inspired by real life buildings in Suwon. They're not exactly the same. I can't get all the same materials even if I use custom content. So yeah, I'm going to try and make them as close as possible to some of the builds that I've seen, and I will show you the pictures up on the screen as I go along. Okay, I'll also add in the custom content image creator for this roofing, just in case you wanted to try and play around with it as well. I'll add it on screen now. Yeah, this roofing is a little bit hard to use, and yeah, it's not exactly Korean, Korean. What am I even on about? It's not, yeah, I think it's supposed to be Japanese, like Kyoto style, but it works even though it's not fully a Korean design. It's fine. Yeah. Please don't come for me. I know, but I really wanted to make the ends of the roof kind of like that nice tiling that goes up. Yeah, okay, so this next build, it is also inspired by a real life building. I'll throw up the image now. And yeah, it's really cute. And I think normally this is a cafe. There's quite a few of these buildings in Suwon near the like fortress and palace area. One is a cafe and one is kind of like a cultural center where you can do different Korean cultural activities. I haven't been in that one myself, but I have been in the cafe, and it's just quite simple and cute and very relaxing. Yeah, so I wanted to definitely add that in, and I will make this into a cafe later. I think in the whole lot, it's just going to be restaurants and cafes and cute little shops. And then towards like the edges of the build, I will make some kind of fake apartment looking buildings. I don't think I will fill those out. I just really want them to be just in the background to make the lot look more interesting and more realistic, because apartments are everywhere. I'm in one right now. Yeah, okay. So I think oh, yeah, you're probably thinking, what is she doing with all that foundation? I wanted to make a pavement. Yeah, because I want to make a road and then like a step up to the pavement area, but I've never tried to do like foundations everywhere to try and make a pavement in a city. So this is new. You'll see me struggle with this quite a bit in the build. It's going all right, but it does, yeah, it's a bit dodgy. It's a bit dodgy here and there. But I really wanted to try and make some sort of like step up pavement, so then I can put some like fake cars in, well, debug cars, and have them on the road and not actually on the pavement. Yeah, okay, so at the back, these are the like apartment buildings that I won't really be filling out. I'll do all of the outside and all the kind of decorations to make them look as realistic as possible, but yeah, I don't think I'll put anything in there. I really just want to add like cafes and restaurants. I want to go crazy with cafes, crazy with restaurants. If you've ever been to Korea or plan on visiting, I do recommend visiting Suwon. If you go to this like main Suwon station, you can get a subway there. I think you can get line 1 from Seoul, and yeah, you can go to the main station, and then I think it's exit 11, like subway exit 11. You can go out there, and there's like a main street you can walk down. It kind of feels like Hongdae vibes. It's very, very busy, lots of just everything. It's very intense. So I'll add in that kind of section as well to this little lot. But the buildings nearer the palace and the fortress walls are all very kind of cute and older, and they all have their own unique styles, and they're just really, really interesting buildings to look at. That's why I took a load of pictures when I visited recently, and yeah, I'll be showing quite a few pictures in part 2 of this speed build as well, because I really, really want to make some of these actually realistic buildings. Yeah, okay, so here's me trying to play around with some more platform. I think it's just going to be a row of cafes, this one. The end building will be a cafe, the one next to it will probably be a cafe. But they're not all going to be, like a regular cafe, because a lot of places in Korea, they're kind of, well, not all of them, but some of them are like themed cafes. I know in Seoul there was like a rabbit cafe, and there was like a cafe years ago with like a sheep in, and there's like some with raccoons in. I don't know if they still exist. But yeah, they're interesting. So this end cafe, it's not going to be as exciting as like a rabbit cafe, but I was thinking I've got a lot of pumpkin like menu items that I've got, which is CC, and I was thinking I could make this into like a pumpkin cafe, like pumpkin everything on the menu. I know it's probably not possible to like serve pumpkin items in The Sims 4, like only pumpkin items in a cafe, but I can pretend. I can decorate the insides of like pumpkin posters and little tiny pumpkins everywhere. It'll be very cute. Right. Oh, yes. So I thought to make this as realistic as possible, I need a lot of the aircon coolers like on the side of the buildings, because you do see them everywhere and they're like stacked upon each other. Sometimes when I walk to my local like little mart, there's like the back of the buildings, there's just like 50 like aircon units just all together, and in the summer it's really, really hot to walk behind that. I do not recommend it. Stay away from them. Stay away from the aircons in the streets. They're very, very hot in the summer. If it's winter, feel free to go ahead and walk near it, but in the summer, do not go near them. They will burn you. Well, they won't burn you, but they'll be nasty to walk past because it's so hot. As you can probably tell, I'm not a fan of heat, which is very unfortunate because Korea can get very, very hot and humid in the summer. Normally in July and August, I try and not to go outside as much as possible. Right, so as you can see, I have slowed down because I'm going to do a little time jump right now. I did go into this build and do a lot more to it just so I can show you more more in part one. I think part one of my Santorini build, I couldn't really show you much, just literally the layout. So this time I was like, I'm going to show more in part one. As you can see, first I've gone into debug and grabbed as much like clutter that relates to the city as possible. I've got like lots of little shop signs and some custom content signs. That's a really cute one. I'll place that somewhere later. And yeah, just some more custom content things and a lot of debuggy items to try and use later. I have tried to fill out the outside of 2 of these cafes. So it's like a little yellow and white one at the end, which is very cute. And yeah, a lot of cafes here which are independent. I think people call them like mum and pop cafes, like because they're not tacky, but they've got their own little like style, and they normally have like some Christmas decorations like up all year round. Every time I go somewhere, I'm like, oh, there's Christmas decorations. Please take it down. It's August. They need to go away, but they're there. I should really add in a Christmas tree somewhere in this build, even though it's spring. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So here's another little cafe next to the yellow one. That's quite chic. And for these 2 kind of Hanok style buildings, I haven't really done too much to them. And this row at the back, I have added windows and a few doors and a little bit of flooring. And now we're going back into the speed build. Yay! As you can see, the apartment buildings, I've changed them and they're just kind of floating there. They're doing their own thing. They look really weird at the moment. And they do cut into some of the buildings, which I know some people really don't like when things clip into walls. But to be fair, these back buildings are literally there for decoration. They are not here to be used. They're there just to be cool looking in the background for our little Korean street cafes and restaurants and shops. We're not going to use them, so don't look at them if they annoy you. Right, this is a little pavilion, which I think there's also custom content. I think that is the Kyoto pack again, so it's not quite Korean, but it will do for now. I couldn't actually find much Korean custom content anywhere, when I looked on CurseForge, there's really not too much. There's a lot more kind of Japanese like build and buy objects, but for Korea there's not really anything, which is a shame. If someone does make custom content, please do some more Korean items. I need it. I need it for this build. Please make it. Right, what am I doing? I'm playing around with the staircases. There was some like little glitch and I was trying to figure out what the heck was that. Yeah, it's like some little weird line. Hopefully that will sort itself out before I do part 2 of this. Please don't break. I swear this game and my computer hates me because I do too many big builds and it struggles with its life. Okay, this area is, I want it to be like an apartment, like not garden, but like chill out zone, which they normally have outside big apartments. If you go to Seoul, you'll see like loads of kind of office buildings and apartments, and they have all these little benchy areas which people then, use. And yeah, so I wanted to add that in. That's definitely not done though. I need to go back in and add a load more to that. So these are the apartments at the back, which kind of clip into the fake debug apartments. Do not get annoyed at me for that. They're just there to be pretty. Yeah, okay, so I did change that roof so it doesn't stick up too much. I think I will add in more of those debug apartments to the edges, just because I really want this to be like, I want it to look like a huge city, even though we're only on like a 64 by 64 lot. I want this to be as big as possible. And yeah, okay, here I am playing with that roofing again. This is quite hard to use. I need to practice more with it. And it does kind of go into the next building. So I do change that around later. I move that kind of tool a bit to the other side so that that will stick in a bit more nicely. Yeah, okay, so what are we doing now? We're just adding more windows to this area. This is kind of like a little back street, which I've just put in some like construction items. I don't know what they're going to be building, but they're going to be building something. I don't know. I just added it in for fun. Those little construction-y things. Yeah, okay. Here I am still. I'm still going. I'm still going. I do change that curved window. I do make that a nicer one. Although, like random windows on buildings is very, very Korea. Like there's lots of different designs to the buildings and lots of different window shapes and door shapes. Every single building has its own vibe. Yeah, so that round window could have fit, but I didn't want to put it there. I put another one, another sticky out one, which still looks cool. In Suwon, there's a lot of like lower buildings. They're not as high as some of the other apartment blocks. And on the smaller buildings, they do have kind of rooftop balcony, I don't know, planty areas. People do grow a lot of their own herbs here, and some like I have seen people grow, what are they called? Chili peppers, red chili peppers, and I've seen them like lay all these chili peppers out on like huge mats on the floor in the summertime to dry all these chili peppers. It looks amazing. I have never seen anything like that in my life, and I was like, wow. Look, all these people drying their chili peppers outside. In England, where I'm from, those chili peppers would be gone. Someone would stand on them or destroy them. Especially from my nearest town is not great. It's, yeah, never leave any of your stuff anywhere in England. Even in your garden, you need to lock it up because it will go. It's not fun. It's really, people shouldn't steal, but they do. I think most of the time they're kind of like opportunists and take stuff, and it's naughty. I haven't done it. Don't come up for me. I'm just commenting on stuff that I actually have experienced. Okay, so that's going to be our little traditional cafe. It's not done. None of these builds are done yet. I'm just popping in random things. And before I upload part 2, maybe at the weekend I can do part 2. I will do maybe a little tiny bit more to some of the insides of the cafe, so I can give you a little tiny tour at the start of part 2 of this series, and then we can go back into a speed build where you can see more of the town being built. Oh yeah, look at me do those roofing. Yay, go me. Woo, woo, looks good. And throw in some more windows. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm just really trying to fill out every single little tiny section and make everything look like it's all joined and give as much detail as possible. I think I will be adding in quite a lot of little plant pots outside of shops and like apartment buildings, just because there's so many little tiny pots of flowers and things everywhere. It's very cute. I love it. Okay, yeah, for the back section, I'm just gonna add in some trash cans. I love the trash cans for everybody. That's too many though, so I do take some out. Too many trash cans. Yeah, and then look at my piles of all of that clutter. It's really, really handy just to make a pile of stuff, and then you can go in and grab it quickly. You don't then have to like go through the catalogue of items every single time you want something new. You can just grab it from your little pile. Right, I think everything is looking pretty good. I do add a little fence there just because that's quite a steep drop, and if the Sims, if this is real life, there probably would be a fence there because, safety and all. Right, I'm just filling in some gaps like I did in my Santorini build. This little tree is very, very handy. It's a part of the base game, I think. It's one of the best ones to use when you want to cover up weird terrain. Really, really, that green little bush from the base game is the best to use. for weird terrain that sticks out, just use that one. Okay. I thought this back section I could add maybe a convenience shop, and I was looking for a purple, oh my god, what is that called now? The umbrella, outdoor umbrella. I keep thinking, no. Well, anyway, the outdoor umbrella, I know it's got another name, but I was looking for a purple one because I really like the convenience store, the CU. I really wanted to add that one in, but I couldn't find it, so I'll probably have to do 7-Eleven or something instead, which is sad. I like the CU purple color, but yes, I couldn't find one. Okay, here I am. Here I am adding some lovely exercise equipment up to the top of the mountain, and you might think, what the heck? This is actually real. They have loads of exercise equipment at the top of the mountains, and most of the little mountains in the cities are very, very steep to climb. And then at the top, there'll be some sitting areas, maybe a little pavilion, and then some lovely exercise equipment. And then you can use it and just stretch your body. I've used it several times. It's really fun. Yeah. Okay. So here I am just I'm trying to plan what am I going to do next. I was thinking I could do, I don't know, another cafe, a little shop, a little cute little shop at the back. And then maybe some restaurants down this side, I thought, just because I think cafes are quite cute to do, but yeah, I need some more restaurants. And then these back buildings that touch the debug apartment will just be there for the vibes. Because the building does clip through it, so yeah. But I wanted to cover up some of those weird apartment buildings, the debug ones, and make it look a bit more cool. So they're just there. They're just there for the vibes. Don't worry about them. So this end one, I'm thinking cafe again. Another cafe. You might be thinking, whoa, why are you putting so many cafes in a build? That's because that's what happens in Korea. There's like 100 cafes on one street. It's great. If one is too busy, just go to the next one. And if you want a certain type of drink and it doesn't have it in one, you can just go to the next one. It's great. Right. Actually, there is something called cafe hopping in Korea, where you can go to one cafe and for a couple hours, and then you go to the next one and then the next one. And it's very, very fun to do. I used to do that with my friends when I lived in Seoul. But nowadays I don't go out much. So my cafe hopping days are all behind me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's my little cute cafe at the front. I just thought that's quite nice to have right at the start of the build. That little entrance cafe to start off the cafe hopping. And obviously we need some upstairs outdoor seating to enjoy in the springtime. I wouldn't recommend sitting up there when it's summer though, or winter. That'll be bloody hot and then bloody cold and it'll be horrible. Right, yeah, for the floor, the terrain paint, I'm just using like a sandy one. I don't think I've got any actual, like a good terrain paint for like roads. I downloaded some CC one, but it's not really working. I might have to look for some better terrain road paint CC stuff. Right, I think I am almost finished. I will slow down the video again. Just whacking this cherry blossom tree. There we go. All right, let's slow down again. There we go. Okay, so this is the end of the video. I think we've done a good job so far. There's a lot more to go. If you've got this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to show you even more builds in the future. And also, if you recently subscribed, thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. I hope I can make so many fun builds and a lot of CC free builds for you as well. And I will always put my CC free builds in the gallery for you to enjoy. This one, it's not CC free at the moment, because I want to try and make this really realistic, but I really hope you enjoy seeing me trying to bring Korea alive in Sims 4. Yeah. If there's any shops or anything you want me to add, or any cafe ideas, like a theme for one of the cafes, please leave it in the comments below, because I've got to do a lot of cafes on here and I need some ideas of what type of cafe to put in. we could do, I've got a little pumpkin cafe coming, and I've got like a hanok, traditional hanok style cafe, and then yeah, what other cafes should I put in here? Leave a comment down below, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you had fun, and yeah, bye bye.